Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, a new rule proposed by the U.S. Department of Treasury could help strengthen the VI's Economic Development Commission. On Monday, Treasury issued a notice of proposed rulemaking that would give VI taxpayers a 30-day travel exception to the 183-day residency test. Governor Kenneth Mapp applauded that action. News 2's Erica Parsons has details.
The rules establishing VI residency could soon change. The U.S. Department of Treasury issued a proposed rule on Monday that would grant VI taxpayers a 30-day travel exception to the 183-day tax residency test. That means a taxpayer could spend 153 days in the territory and not have to worry about losing their tax status.
So this is a rule change that we have supported. The prior administration, I know this is something that we have worked on from the end of Governor Turnbull's administration through the DeYoung administration. I know the delegate to Congress, Donna Christensen, had also worked on this, and it seemed to be stalled at the rulemaking at Treasury.
Governor Kenneth Mapp applauded Treasury's action, saying it's one of the most important federal actions in years to strengthen the VI's Economic Development Commission. Under current rules, to qualify as a VI taxpayer, a person has to be physically present in the territory for a minimum of 183 days a year. Governor Mapp said that rule was crippling the economy, which lost scores of businesses and hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue because of it.
In 2004, we saw a mass exodus of our EDC companies because of the rule change, which made it more difficult for them to meet the requirements for residency, which were even more stringent than being a resident of any state. And so with the rule change now, this relaxes the residency requirements somewhat in that it allows individuals, businessmen, to actually travel and do the work that they do without having to have their feet on the ground in the territory. We're really happy that this has finally happened. We were disappointed that it did not go as far as we would have liked, but it's a step in the right direction.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Governor Mapp had a meeting in Washington earlier this year to lobby for easing the VI's residency rules. He thanked the EDC community, Delegate Stacey Plaskett, and past administrations for their support of that change. Well, St. Croix and St. John no longer have access to MoneyGram's services. Last month, the MoneyGram Corporation suspended 6 locations across the territory while it was investigating the business practices of the owner. MoneyGram recently made the decision to terminate its relationship with the individual who owns all the stores in question. No information has been released about the pending investigation, but this decision leaves St. John and St. Croix without MoneyGram services. Licensing and Consumer Affairs officials say they plan to explore all legal options regarding the licensure of the MoneyGram owner whose contract was terminated. MoneyGram Corporation officials say they're in the process of vetting other local entities to provide MoneyGram services. The Finance Committee met in the Outley Legislative Hall on Tuesday for a budget wrap-up of session of the fiscal year 2016 budget. Testifiers from the Department of Agriculture, DLCA, and VI Election System appeared before the committee. On Monday, it was the Economic Development Authority, VI Career and Technical Education, VI Olympic Committee, Labor Management Committee, and as we see there, the Public Services Commission. Officials discussed expanding the definition of the telephone landline market to include telecommunications, which would allow for local entities to be a part of the conversation. Boyd Spring, an attorney with the PSC, said that currently there is no local authority that grants us the jurisdiction. Making the market more expansive would change that, he said. In fiscal year 2016, the governor's recommended budget for the Public Services Commission is $1,753,000, which is in line with the agency's budget request. Dominica relief efforts are growing across the territory. The task force charged with coordinating local efforts held a press conference Tuesday afternoon to encourage the community to support the efforts. They also provided information on how the public can help. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
At least a dozen government agencies and private groups have joined together to lend support to Dominica after the devastating effects of Tropical Storm Erica.
I think that this cause is something that is worthy of our attention, and we'd like to call upon the people of the Virgin Islands to participate in this effort and to give what you can, those of you that are able.
Our work has just begun. At this time, we're actually just trying to get some readily needed supplies. Again, medical supplies, water, dry food, toiletry, etc.
The task force is trying to fill trailers to send badly needed supplies to the victims. People can give at Plaza East and Kmart West on St. Croix until the relief drive ends.
The St. Croix bikers will begin collecting items outside of Plaza Extra East, where we have a trailer positioned there, ready and waiting to collect dry food, water, over-the-counter medication, clothing, sheet sets, blankets, sanitary napkins, any type of toiletries.
St. Croix Rescue may deploy a team as early as Wednesday to help relieve first responders there and provide medications. Local groups have already begun fundraising efforts. Okong's Grill is hosting a dance Friday night at the Crusaders nightclub, and Vivid Streaming is hosting a give back at the Doc James Racetrack Sunday.
Hummingbird Air is accepting donations at their counters on both St. Thomas and St. Croix. You can just bring a box of goods to them, and they are shipping those down now. And if you are going to do that, we ask you use priority items: water, over-the-counter medications, Band-Aids, bug spray.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
For more information on the Dominica relief efforts, you can contact St. Croix Rescue or check out their Facebook page. You can also check out the St. Croix Bikers and Motorcycle Club's Facebook page for items needed. Also, you can contact Shelley Moorhead at the governor's office. Well, Governor DeYoung has scheduled a press conference on Wednesday regarding the efforts. Be sure to tune in. Rotary East, Nazareth by the Sea Episcopal Church, Paradise Covenant Ministries International, Paradise Cove Resort, Kappa, and Impact in Your World. They are all collecting food and toiletry items here in St. Thomas to benefit the victims on our neighboring island of Dominica, devastated by the tropical storm Erica. Non-perishable food items and basic toiletries will be collected at the following collection site: Fortune Storage behind the hospital, Lockhart Companies Inc. above Banco Popular in Fort Milner, Paradise Covenant Ministries, Vitraco Mall next to the laundromat, and Paradise Cove Resort, Red Hook, and Impact in Your World. You can take it to the church in Kangansgata. Now, for more information, you can call the Rotary East at 340-626-1199 or 340-513-4041. Senator Jean Ford has engaged in dialogue with the representatives of the Dominican community in the VI, and he said he will act in accordance with the wishes of Aid Committee that has been formed to coordinate relief efforts. Now, during the Labor Day extravaganza and parade set for September 7th, the Smith Bay Community Action Foundation, Inc. will be accepting clothes, shoes, and non-perishable food items for the victims. And they are urging everyone in attendance to participate in this event in such a crucial time of need for our Caribbean brothers and sisters. For more information, you can contact Roy Chesterfield. His number is 340-998-0314, or you can call Paul Alexander, 340-201-9366. WAPA officials say that St. Croix's power restoration is complete. All feeders are back online. Crews have been working in the aftermath of Tropical Storm Erica since Friday to bring the Big Island back online. While almost everyone now has power, there are still a few pockets of outages being worked on. Some people are without power because of damages not caused by WAPA. Those customers will not be charged for the disconnect.
Normally, regular business, we charge that, disconnect, reconnect. We waive that during storms, or during this storm for sure. So it's waived, so customers that request a disconnect, they can get that, they can get the weather-head replaced, because we can't do that, and then we can come back and reattach. There's a few of those out there.
Innovative has been working closely with WAPA as they replaced poles and energized their lines. Technical teams are working to restore service to customers in the following areas in St. Croix: Peters Rest, Castle Coakley, Clifton Hill, Cane Bay, La Valley, Claremont, Frigates View, Concordia Ridge, Scenic Drive. And once again, the company is asking that customers refrain from moving or cutting down lines. And according to the latest forecast, Tropical Storm Fred is now over 250 miles northwest of the Republic of Cabo Verde. Moving away from the islands, Fred strengthened into a hurricane in the far eastern Atlantic Ocean just off the coast of Africa early Monday morning, becoming the first hurricane since 1892 to hit the islands. Fred will continue to weaken, they say, this week in the eastern Atlantic Ocean and is no threat to the Caribbean or the United States. Well, as we continue our preparedness tips during the hurricane season, Vitima's director Mona Barnes encourages you to assist if you know of an elderly or disabled loved one or a neighbor living at home alone. While an emergency situation is always hard on everyone, it can be particularly difficult and even confusing times for these individuals. Plus, what about your pets? Make sure your pets are also protected. Here's more.
When we speak of the elderly, the one thing I always try to stress is we have to ensure that we have their prescription medicine in advance. We have a lot of elderly that live alone as well, and I'll plead to the public, if you know that there is an elderly that lives in your neighborhood, check on them prior to the hurricane. Ensure that someone is taking care of them. If not, be a good neighbor and take care of them, because they are going to need the help.
Now, for those of us with pets, sometimes the pets are neglected, and we see that after the storm, we see a lot of pets around the area. What do you want to say about pets?
The one thing I want to say about pet, and I have a pet myself, and so you got to understand that for a lot of people, their pet is like a family member. And so you have to treat your pet the way you treat your family. The same thing, ensure that you have food for them, have water. If you're thinking about going to a shelter, though, I highly recommend that you have a cage for them. I would tell you we are, in conjunction with Red Cross, we are working on a pet plan as far as if they go to the shelters, actual shelter for pets. We're still working on that. But even for those of us that have pets, just ensure that we take care of them just like we take care of ourselves, because they are, well, mine is part of my family.
And stay tuned for more of those tips throughout the hurricane season. Turn our attention stateside. A manhunt is underway for 3 suspects after a police officer was fatally shot in far north suburban Fox Lake Tuesday morning. Police said the suspects, described as 2 white males and 1 black male, should be considered armed and dangerous. Fox Lake police identified the slain officer as Lieutenant Charles Joseph Glinowicz, a 32-year-old veteran of the force and married father of 4. The officer was shot while responding to a call of 3 suspicious people near Route 12 around 7:52 a.m. After communication was lost with the officer, his backup arrived on the scene to find him injured with a gunshot wound. The police officer died. A nearby school was on lockdown. Meanwhile, keeping our eye on the economy, U.S. stocks tumbled at the close after weak manufacturing data in China fueled investors. Worries about the world's second largest economy. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average slumped. The S&P 500 declined 3% and the Nasdaq Composite fell 2.9%. Shares in Europe and Asia posted losses. The price of oil, which had rallied in recent days, slumped. After calmer sessions on Friday and Monday, traders and investors said they were hoping last week's volatility had passed. However, signs of turbulence returned Tuesday. In the past couple of weeks, stocks, currencies, and commodities have swung dramatically on signs of a slowdown in Chinese growth. Disappointing economic data out of the world's second largest economy, as well as the country's devaluation of its currency, have increased concerns. Let's take a look at the eye on the economy. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all down. The Dow 469, Nasdaq 140, S&P 500 down 58. Coming up on News 2, we have your winning lottery numbers. Grab a pen and paper. Plus, it takes a village. The community comes together to prepare schools, discuss concerns, and some orientation information, all coming up. Welcome back. On Monday, August 31st at 12:41 p.m., officers investigated the report of a robbery incident at the Caribbean Lock and Safe located in Estate Diamond Ruby. The owners, husband and wife, and a male employee were present. Around 12:30 p.m., they say an employee saw an unknown male enter the screen door located on the building's eastern side brandishing a gun. The suspect demanded that he get down on the ground, took his wallet, emptied it of all the cash. The female co-owner of the business had secreted herself in the restroom with the door slightly ajar, and the suspect discovered her, pointed his gun at her as he had her too lay on the ground. The suspect emptied the cash register. No one was injured. They say the suspect wore all black with a bandana covering his face. On Monday at roughly 1:45 p.m., officers were dispatched to a residence in Estate Williams Delight. A 27-year-old man stated that he'd been shot in the area commonly referred to as Harvey. As he was driving out of the area, he suddenly heard shots fired at his vehicle, which sustained damage. The victim stated that he didn't see anyone. Officers were able to gather several spent shell casings and spoke with individuals in the area who were unable to provide information. The victim was taken to the Louis Hospital and treated for a gunshot wound to the lower shin. On Monday night, Kappa held its second meeting in the Bovoni community at the Bovoni Baptist Church, along with the Bovoni Homeowners Association. In attendance were 23 members of the Bovoni community, along with reps from the VIPD, the Governor's Office, Waste Management, Senator Liberd's office, Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett's office, and Mothers Against Guns. The commander of Charlie Command discussed video surveillance, ways to prevent crime in the area by using cell phones as proof of illegal activity. Waste Management gave solutions to the garbage problem. They also discussed the closing of the landfill and what is proposed for the site. Senator Jean Ford, in conjunction with members of the community group called HOME, which is Helping Ourselves Meet Excellence, they spent Saturday morning painting classrooms at the Lockhart Elementary School in preparation for the upcoming school year. The effort, said Ford, who chairs the Senate Committee on Education and Workforce Development, said in conducting tours and visits of the various schools in the territory, it was apparent that much work needs to be done in making our schools safe and attractive places of learning for our young people. Ford noted that the classroom painting effort was the result of collaboration by a number of entities that are deserving of gratitude and recognition. Parental orientation sessions will be conducted on Friday, September 4th at the following elementary schools on St. Croix. Claudio at 9 in the school's cafeteria, Purley Lawson at 1 p.m. in the auditorium, and at Eulalie Rivera at 1 p.m. in the auditorium. Parents and guardians of new and returning students should attend. Important matters, they say, will be discussed to include school policies and new social and educational programs planned. Insurance, ID, and PE fees will be collected. Well, also student orientations for school year 2015 will be held at the Arthur A. Richards Junior High School on Wednesday, September 2nd in the school's auditorium at 9 a.m. for all 7th graders and beginning at 1 p.m. for all 8th graders. Students must wear a school uniform to the orientation sessions and be accompanied by their parents. A school ID fee of $15, insurance fee of $16, and $15 for physical education uniform shirt will be collected. Educators seeking to enhance the marine and environmental knowledge offered to their students can do so with the aid of the Virgin Islands Marine Advisory Service, VIMAS. The service, which operates within the University of the Virgin Islands Center for Marine and Environmental Studies, offers assistance to teachers in the form of curricula, both inside and outside of the classroom. VIMAS agents can make scheduled visits to private or public school classrooms territory-wide and provide presentations to students in grades 6 through 12 on key target areas that align with the specific lesson learning objectives. For more information on St. Thomas, you can contact Howard Forbes at 340-693-1672. St. Croix activities, you can contact Marsha Taylor, and her number is 340-693-4046. In executive session of a special meeting of the UVI Board of Trustees that was held on August 29, the board approved a resolution authorizing UVI President Dr. David Hall to execute a contract with First Bank Puerto Rico to secure a loan of $30 million to establish an endowment for the UVI School of Medicine. Of this, $20 million will be used to establish the endowment, and $10 million is for the school's operation. Establishing the loan is subject to the approval of the foundation for the University of the Virgin Islands. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Due to Tropical Storm Erica on August 27th, that VI lottery drawing was rescheduled and it was held earlier today. The back-to-school lottery ticket places emphasis on educators. 20 of the territory's finest educators' images were selected. Are you the winner? Here are the numbers.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on NEWS2. Here are the top prizes. Fifth prize for $20,000, 23923, 23923. Fourth prize for $30,000, 00312, 00312. Third prize for $40,000, 09127, 09127. Second prize for $65,000, 29378, 29378. And the winning ticket number for the grand prize for $175,000 is 03353, 03353. If your ticket number wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is September 10th. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
September 10th, mark that on your calendar. Good luck as you check those tickets. Be sure to stick around. Your News2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.